in the media conference with Lal Goyal, which is brought to you by V4 News, Global TV, V4 Stream, मलनाडु टीवी इंडिया, न्यूज गांव से, संवाद सरोकार न्यूज, भारत पोस्ट न्यूज, organ donation India Foundation and Gyan. Our endeavor is to enlighten you with the current topic. But today's topic is a very, very different topic. And today's topic is life's lighter moments. The purpose of our lives is to be happy. The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. No one can make you happy until you are happy with yourself first. Now, today's topic, when I started preparing, I found is the most tough topic for me, at least, because in my life, there are no lighter moments, all heavy moments. And that's why I decided that today I will be try to get and hear more lighter moments from our esteemed panelists. But I would like to share a few things that recently, about 2 months back, when the Supreme Court bench was hearing one petition, one very senior advocate was arguing, and it's all, as you know, nowadays it's online virtual legal proceedings are happening in Supreme Court and High Courts. So then that a senior advocate found that the judges are not responding. So he stopped and he was waiting for the judge to respond. So one of the judges of the Supreme Court said, yes, please continue. So he said, but I expect something from you. He said, see, look, we also have some lighter moments in our life. Whenever we keep mute, when you are talking, we used to share some lighter moments with among ourselves. So the senior advocate said, but sir, if we would have also been, he says, no, that is why we are keeping mute, so that we can share among ourselves. So the crux is that even those judges of Supreme Court, very, very senior persons, they also require lighter moments. Similarly, I was told by many of the doctors, when they are performing operations, even the operations of a serious nature of 4 hours or 6 hours or 8 hours long, they also crack jokes among themselves with the anesthetist, with the sister in charge, because they says it gives us, it's a stress buster. So lighter moments are required for anything. I can share one of incident which when I was child, I heard when our first Prime Minister, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, he went to address one public meeting. And when he was about to address, there was some uproar from somewhere that they are not listening what he's saying. Some loudspeaker problem. So loudspeaker man was called and immediately started doing something. And then he used to say, check 1, 2, 3, check 1, 2, 3, like that. Pandit Nehru lost his control. He picked up the mic and he says, those who are not listening me, please raise the hands. Now, he said it like this, but immediately everybody realized it's a very, very lighter moment. And then everybody enjoyed. So all these things are happening in our life, but many times it's very, very difficult to even smile. There are people who are always smiling. I can give an example of our Global TV chairman, Mr. Pauls. He always smiles. It gives very, very positive energies to others. So the thing is that if you enjoy your lighter moments, even if you are doing so much hard work, you are full of tensions, give some lighter moments. And for that, there are many things. First thing is kids, a small child. Just by seeing them, you forget your all tensions and you will be involving yourself. You feel that, okay, some lighter moment, because if a child smiles innocently towards you, whether you know that child or not, it will immediately give a very lighter moment to you. Even the pets, sometimes full of tension, you go to home and then you found your pet, either the dog or cat comes to you, telling and then you will feel that, oh, and that is a stress buster or lighter moment. Even in garden, many times if you go in the morning and if you see some new flower in your garden, you have the moment of the day, and you feel your day has been made. So there are lots kinds of lighter moment in the life. Yes, one has to keep the mobile phone away, which is a very pet subject of our Dr. Rajiv Anand. Because if you really want to enjoy the lighter moment, although there is in the WhatsApp University, sometimes very, very good quality of joke comes, then yes, we smile. But otherwise, 99%, either they are PJs, what now the WhatsApp people says, or poor jokes, or something full of hate and whatnot. So all these things are very, you can say, create the lighter moment of the life. So as I told you that there are no lighter moments in my life, so I have to go, and I would like to introduce, because today our panelists are very, very interesting persons. They are from the different walk of life. When I will be introducing you, you will understand that these are, they are like flowers of a garden, different and different type of garden flowers with different fragrances. I am sure our viewers will enjoy today's program because they will not listen much of me. So I would like to introduce my first guest, and he is Dr. Rajiv Anand. Dr. Rajiv Anand is a senior psychiatrist and marriage counselor. Dr. Rajiv Anand passed his MBBS in 1976 and did MD in psychiatry in 1980 from King's George Medical College, Lucknow. He opted to serve his country when it was very common to settle abroad for brighter future. He has been serving society with his base in Mumbai. He has clients all over India as well as in many other countries. He was honored with Lifetime Achievement Award by AMA. He has conducted more than 3,000 workshops for different groups and companies with audience size of 10 to 800. His television program on various channels have been widely appreciated for his forthright and tactical approach. He is leading in the field of mental and emotional well-being for 40 years. He was president of IMA for 2 times. He was interviewed in several talk shows, domestic and internationally. Welcome, Dr. Rajiv Anand, on our show. Dr. Rajiv Anand, my understanding says that the people come to you when they are in trouble, when they have some mental problem. No one would like to come to you when they are happy or they are in a very lighter moment. Now, I am sure that it's a very, very tough thing for you, because being a marriage counselor, again, a very tough thing, because generally the marriage counselor work is to counsel those when there's a marriage is going to break and something like that. As a psychiatrist, everyone is coming to get some health for their mental health. But we are talking about the lighter moments of life. So we would like to know your own experience, your own views on life's lighter moments. Dr. Rajiv Anand, please.
Thank you, Mr. Lal, for your kind words in the introduction. Welcome, Sapna ji, welcome, Jasmine, and welcome, Bhavana Shah. And let me first confess that I happen to be the most serious face. In the last many, many years, I'm working at myself. And I'm working quite religiously, quite painstakingly, how to have light face, how to have something which could appear on my face, which could depict that I am also a live person, not a dead person. And I continue working on this. And trust me, if I tell you one secret of this, firstly, before that, let me tell you that we, the profession where we belong to, we have a lot of constraints and limitations. Unlike Mr. Paul, who has a very smiling face, or Bhavna, we cannot have a very smiling face. If we have a very smiling face, the interpretation could go wrong. Some patient could treat it that as if I am taking their problem very lightly, frivolously, superficially, not taking it seriously. Well, some patient could take my smile as flirtatious. Well, some patient could think that I am trying to hit on them. Now, they wouldn't ask with me. They wouldn't ask me. They wouldn't check with me. So they would continue making their own deductions without me being aware about it. So as a result of that, most people in our profession, including me, keep on becoming serious and serious and serious. to the extent that we forget what was our original face. And this what is happening to me for the last many years. I'm realizing, where am I? Where have I lost myself? And this dilemma, which I am ready to talk aloud, where I have myself, in the pursuit of becoming a better doctor, in the pursuit of becoming a better caretaker, in the pursuit of helping others, have I lost myself? Have I gone off the designated path which I am supposed to? And you may be curious about it, what I am referring about designated path, what I was supposed to. I was supposed to live happily and let others live happily. I was supposed to live qualitatively and guide people how to live qualitatively happily. I was supposed to be richer in my own inner values and help others to gain their own richer values, to live life qualitatively. And this is the silent research which I've been doing for the last more than a decade or so, working at myself. The purpose of my joining this program is also discovering myself. Mr. Paul is a delightful person. Mr. Lal has got tireless zeal, unending zeal for the last 15 months, working on one after another topic. And Thursday, I appear on his program. I have been taking various serious topics. 3 months back, we had taken a topic on laughter in life. And trust me, I had a genuine difficulty for a month to find the speakers. So many contacts, so many social acquaintances, so many friends, so many doctors. None was ready to come for a topic of laughter in life. And that amazed me, that how could this be? People who are intelligent, people who are educated, people who are well informed, people who are spiritually also, they claim to be very high, but they have difficulty in talking about laughter in life. Fortunately, I could find 3 people. One was my senior doctor colleague who is full of laughter. One was a retired banker. One was Lady gynecologist. But today's topic, again, when I was thinking about taking this topic, and I request Mr. Lal that we shall take up this topic of lighter moments in life. Maybe he didn't reveal that. Maybe you can see this topic, lighter moments in life, what relevance this has. Maybe I couldn't get time to explain to him, but here I am explaining to him. We all are becoming lesser and lesser alive globally. We all are becoming, if the word sounds little blasphemous, but the word sounds little uncomfortable, but we are pushing ourselves to death. If the death word sounds little uncomfortable to accept, or little unpleasant to accept, then let's soften it down. We are increasingly losing life. We are alarmingly losing our ability to connect to others. We all have been hearing from childhood, a smile is the biggest connecting force. Once you smile, you go miles further. Once you smile is the biggest breaker of all barriers between any country, any nation, any religion, any age group. A smile connects to instant. We all have been reading about it. I too have been a reader for the last 55 years. But how often we apply it? We maintain the social profile, we maintain the social demeanor of being a very serious person. And we don't want to connect. When we begin looking for panelists for this program.
Excuse me, Dr. Anand, your net is a bit low today. So just see if any other device is connected or something, because the net is giving problem. Your voice is cracking. Anyone can vouch for me. Miss Bhavna, what I'm saying is correct? Doctor, yes. So Dr. Anand, just see that no other device to be connected or something, or the net is also wants to make you more serious. So whenever you are talking lightly, so they are giving the problem. Anyway, please go ahead. Dr. Anand, you please go ahead.
Okay. So to share the lighter moments at this time.
No, still there is Dr. Anand
to get on the net.
Dr. Anand, sorry, your net is still giving problem. Give
me some break. I would come back after half an hour.
Okay. Yeah, please. Otherwise, it will not. We want to hear from you. You are one of the most expert person, and we want to hear serious things from you in a lighter vein. Now I would like to invite my next guest. And this is the problem that we are facing every day, that whenever there is some good moments comes or the lighter moments comes, immediately the net goes down. I don't know whether the net plays a joke with us or we are playing joke with network. Anyway, now I would like to invite my next guest, and she is Miss Bhavna Shah. Miss Bhavna Shah is the world powerlifting champion. She is a graphic designer by profession and very hardworking and passionate towards her fitness goals. She has brought pride to our country by achieving several gold medals and making records in women master category on national as well as international platform in the year 2017, 18, and 19. And because of the pandemic, no powerlifting physically and not possible online in 20 or 21. Otherwise, she would have lifted the laptop and show that I am this thing. Her achievements are gold medal in National Powerlifting Championship at WRPF Bangalore in May 2017 in Master 1 and Open category. World Championship WPU, World Powerlifting Union, October 2017 in Master 1 and Open category. World Championship 3X and world record holder under the banner of Barbell Club, which is affiliated to World Powerlifting Congress in 2017, 2018, and 2019. Gold medal in Open category National Powerlifting Championship at Mutiny Strength National Open Raw Deadlift and Bench Press Competition 2019. I don't understand why they put so difficult name. I can't pronounce properly. First thing, Miss Bhavna Shah, I would like to know, are you really a powerlifting champion or some beauty champion or some other champion? Because by look, I'm sure our viewers can vouch, you are not looking like a powerlifting champion. And to be very frank, I would like to share with my viewers, when I received her photograph with the profile, and when the flyer is to be prepared, the person who prepared the flyer asked me very categorically, are you sure, sir, that this photograph belongs to a power lifter or that to world champion? I said, yes. Well, but this is not possible. So I was under impression that once the flyer will reach to her, definitely the objection will come. This photograph doesn't belong to me. I have sent, by mistake, I have sent one of my friend's photograph. So please put my photograph, because whatsoever, when we have seen a world champion, powerlifting champion, they are like we used to say King Kong, or at that time Dara Singh, those type of person. When they do you, and anyways, again in a lighter vein, I'm sure I have I'm sure today's program nobody will feel bad, because I am also in a lighter vein, because Dr. Rajiv Anand says one has to look, otherwise you are taking yourself to the death. So I don't want to die early, otherwise my program will stop. I am trying to check the connection in the hell, so that I will be continuing the program from there. And our most esteemed, those who are regular, I will try to call them as early as possible, so our program will not disrupt, without any bias to my senior participants. Now, Miss Bhavna Shah, you are such a, I must say, I must congratulate you, because you have not only lifted the weight, but you have lifted our country and to the glories, and to all of us. We are proud of you. So first of all, congratulations. Now, we would like to know, because we know that this powerlifting is not an easy thing. For that, you require rigorous training. And that training may exceed 15 hours, 20 hours, whatnot. And lots of those things you have to take, proteins, etc., which normal persons can't take. And in that time, definitely you have to take it very, very seriously. And that time, if somebody is talking about the lighter moment, it is amazing, I must say. So we would like to know your lighter moments, Miss Bhavna Shah, please.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. Thank you, Mr. Goel, for that lovely introduction. Thank you, Dr. Rajiv Anand, for inviting me to this webinar. Also, hello to our panelists, Ms. Sapna and Ms. Jasmine. I can't begin to express how excited I am to given this opportunity and this wonderful platform. As Mr. Goel correctly introduced, yes, I'm a power lifter. For those of our viewers who don't know what powerlifting is, it's a sport where an athlete displays his or her strength by lifting maximum amount of weight in a specific workout, which is squats, bench press, and deadlift. Before I talk any further, I want to congratulate Mr. Goel and Mr. Rajiv Anand for deciding on such an important topic, life's lighter moments. Well, I'm no expert. I'm not a doctor. I cannot talk on medical term, but I am me. And I'm going to talk from my heart and from my experience. In this pandemic, we continuously talk about how immunity, metabolism, health, exercising, etc. is important. But the most important thing in life is forgotten, which is smile, joy, a laughter, which actually is a remedy to most of our problems, because more than the problem, it is our outlook that keeps us miserable. And that is true with all of us. Smiling is universally considered to be a way we display joy. Make an eye contact and the other person will smile back. Just enjoy, smile more, laugh more, and don't get so worked up about things. Take things easy. I'm saying this from my own personal experience. Life for me was not easy. All these sports related achievements we just talked about was never easy. I come from a traditional middle class background where my father worked with cinemas and my mom was a housewife. Of course, my trouble is different from the other people. Like, as you can see, I'm a very petite, small looking girl. I weigh 40 kg and 45 years of age I am, 46 running actually. Growing up, I used to be really weak, unwell most of the time. Very frequently, I had to deal with fever, cold, PCOD as well. For me, lifting my school bag also or groceries was a difficult task. In fact, let me share with you one of my recent newspaper article. The headline stated, the girl who even had difficulty lifting her own school bag has made India proud by winning the gold medal in a heavyweights lifting sports.
Very good.
Anyways, at a very early age, I had understood that health is everything. Although I had an understanding parents, grandparents, also on my in-laws side, everyone was very supportive. But without fitness, life was no fun. Because it is you who has to deal with everyday problems. And if you are physically not healthy or strong, then the road ahead is very difficult. I decided to pick up fitness as a daily routine, like daily part of my life, because I wanted to get stronger. It was that simple. All I had to do is decide. And the universal energies helped me execute my decision. In the journey, I met a lot of wonderful personalities, experts who guided me. I have the best coach in the world. All I had to do is work hard. I want to talk about my sport. I was selected by Delhi-based Barbell Club Association in India team in Master Women category to participate World Powerlifting Championship in the year 2016, 17, 18, and 19 at WPC India, where I won several gold medals and made our motherland proud. I remembered in my competition 2017 November, they even played our national anthem on a award ceremony when I was on the stage, and the room full of people from all over the world. I cannot express how happy it was. The happiest moment of my life. But please believe me when I say none of this was easy. I had to work hard for it. rigorous training, as Mr. Lal said, every single day, dealing with pain, fatigue, injuries, being very particular about diet, nutrition, lifestyle in general. But please know that it is possible. And I'm a living example in front of you. You have to make right choices and the world will be your oyster. Sure, life is difficult with all these issues we hear around global warming, pandemic, GDP of our country, struggle in the family, friends, relationships, work, career, etc. I agree. But life can be fun too if we choose to make it enjoyable. Let me share this incident with you, similar to what Mr. Lal initially shared. One of my uncle, Parsi uncle, he had his leg to be operated. And in the operation room, he kept making joke that, doctor, not this leg of mine. No, the other leg, the other leg. Of course, doctor knew his job, but my uncle just meant to create lighter mood for everyone out there. That should be the spirit. I am determined to live my life to the fullest, enjoy every day of my life and make the most of it, that I grow physically and mentally. Every time I attend any gathering or any, when I meet new people for any event, I ask them, people who don't know, I ask them, can you guess what sport I play? And then they would be like, okay, beauty and brains don't go together, but they still end up saying chess or carom or cards or something. And then slowly I say that I lift heavy weights. I'm into powerlifting sport. And then I very proudly say that beauty, brains, and muscle power, that's me. So yeah, we should take life easy, make choices. Joy is a choice. It does not happen to us. We need to choose joy and we need to keep choosing every day. That's all from my side. Back to you, Mr. Goel.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Bhavna Shah, for giving your views and your experience that how tough your life is, but still there are moments when the happiness comes. And you have mentioned about that when the national anthem was played in 2017, when you won the World Powerlifting Championship, and that is really a moment when everyone is proud, and especially the person who has won the championship, what goes inside them is a very, very really powerful or the happiness moment. And as Ms. Bhavna Shah mentioned about one doctor about the orthopedics, I recall he's there right now, but I would not like to name. He is a very senior dentist, dental doctor in Mumbai, and he cracks jokes. And his clients are, or his patients are, all top celebrities. Name any of the film stars they were. And yesterday we lost the legend Dilip Kumar ji. He was also his, and even Jagjit Singh ji. So once I was there with him, and Jagjit Singh ji was sitting. So he asked Jagjit Singh to sing few lines. And when he sang, then he said, okay, you open your mouth now, and I'm just saying one joke. And he was cracking the joke. And so I asked, doctor, why you are cracking joke you are doing? Well, no, if I would have not cracked the joke, this fellow would be singing or make me to listen only his things. So I wanted him to open the mouth and my jokes and give him easiness, so that there is no problem. I need not to give any anesthesia because they all are very celebrity. I do not want to take any chance and I want to do it. And I found that he was very happy. Even Mr. Jagjit Singh was very happy. So these things plays a very, very important role. That is the happiness and how you make others happy. As Dr. Rajiv Anand has mentioned few things which before his net, that one has to make others happy. That is a very big art. And even if we see all our Bollywood movies or anywhere, even the Hollywood or Charlie Chaplin, see, without speaking, how he makes everyone happy. And that is what is, it's not easy. People feel that it's a very easy to make comedy, but it's very, very difficult. And I know how much difficulty I am facing today. Otherwise, if it would have any serious subject, I would be telling you many things, but today I have to limitize me. Thank you very much, Ms. Bhavna Shan. Definitely keep ready stock of your more lighter moments. I am going to come back again and again to you. Thank you very much. Now I would like to go to my next panelist. She is Miss Sapna Sethi. Miss Sapna Sethi is the director of Play School and Daycare at Mumbai. Before that, she was running a number of businesses like catering business, real estate business, TV, film model, coordination, etc. Miss Sapna Sethi, you have heard partly Dr. Rajiv Anand. Again, in lighter vein, Dr. Rajiv Anand now makes a practice. Is he listening? Okay. He has made a practice that he start his inning and immediately he press some buttons, so his network will start giving problem, and then he says, okay, I will come afterwards. You go through with other panelists. So this is a good trick, so that now he will listen everyone and then he is having final say for that. Now, Miss Sapna Sethi, as I mentioned in opening remark about the child smile, you are director of a play school and a daycare center, and I can understand that this although people feel that's a very money spinning thing, but it's not easy. It's a very, very difficult task, because you have to keep all the childs of the age of 2 years, 2.5, even sometimes less than 2 years, even 1.5 years, and 2 years, 3 years child happy, their parents happy, and get them to do all the learnings also simultaneously. It's a very, very tough thing. It's not easy. And even if you have helps also, your your colleagues also, but still being in charge, a director, it's not a easy responsibility. You are responsible for every child, because I know the parents are going to eat up your mind. They will come to you. They say, today the child has not eaten the lunch, or today child has come did this thing, that today child has not complained that somebody has done like this. So it's not easy. How you are managing to have a lighter moment in that time? It's not easy. I can vouch for it, because to handle elder students or those who understand, they are childs, they are kids, they don't understand anything, and then to keep the lighter moments in your life is very, very difficult, in my opinion. We would like to know from you the life's lighter moments. Miss Sapna Sethi, please unmute.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you, thank you, Mr. Goel, for the introduction. Thank you, Dr. Rajiv Anand, for inviting me. Hello, Bhavna and Jasmine. Well, I am the center director of one of the branches of an American franchisee, and we have kids from 6 months to 7 years. But the easiest thing to deal is with kids. Believe me, it is really not that difficult when people make out to be. Only you have to be very compassionate. You have to have a heart of a mother to do that. I'm not saying the people like men can't do it, or the ladies who are not mothers won't do it, but I just feel, and with my age, I have a plus point that I'm a grandmother as well. So every child I see in the play group in my daycare, they all like my grandkids. There are kids when they are new to us, they are not familiar with the environment. So they come crying and crying and crying. The only thing you need is to do and hug. And you have to say, it's all right, it's okay, you're going to be fine. Give child that assurance that it's going to be fine. And children will be fine. Every time, you don't need to be on top of your voice and screaming and shouting and trying to discipline. It's okay. If things are like they've done, so they've dropped the food, something, just it's fine. Next time, be careful. You don't have to be on their throat all the while. So I feel my happiness nowadays is all related to kids. But life hasn't been easy earlier. So I lost my husband when I was in early 30s. And things have been problems since then, financially and emotionally, whatever. But I'm blessed with beautiful 2 kids. And they're very, very loving. But at that time, I learned to live happily and lightly. You need to have 2 S in your life. I mean, not 2 Sapna Sethi. It means Sabar and Shukar. So sabr is like having patience, and shukr is to live in gratitude. So when there used to be days when, times when my son would come and say, oh, if we don't pay the fees in 2 days, we won't be able to give a unit test. I used to keep faith in God. It's not that I used to not fret, I used to not panic, but somewhere there was confidence that, God is always on my side and nothing would go wrong now. Now, with whatever bad patch is gone, now it is all going to be okay. And then somewhere the money would come and everything would go fine. But never forget to thank God. Then my children have further gone. They were daughter was in first standard and son was in sixth when I lost my husband. My kids have further gone to Australia, studied, and are well settled over there. So there are other estate agents who have made a lot of properties. There are bungalows which I haven't. So I feel मेरे बंगले तो Australia में बन गए हैं. My kids have their houses, and this is what my bungalows are. I live in gratitude. There are times I miss my kids because of pandemic. I cannot go and meet them. They cannot come over here. But thank God they are fine. Learn to live in gratitude. That keeps me happy. They are fine. I am fine. So all this is gratitude. My daughter got married. The only daughter that I have. I dreamt like every mother to have a wedding for her over here. But because of pandemic, she had to get married there. I could not go. I didn't feel bad. I felt, thank God she's married, settled. She's happily married. She's got a good boy. And I'm so grateful. So for me, happiness is living in gratitude. Sabr, be patient. We all have to have goals. We all have to work towards the goals. We have to really work hard. But if it doesn't happen, you don't have to lose your mind over not getting. Okay, we are dreamt of having a 4-bedroom hall at the age of 35. नहीं हुआ, 1 bedroom हो गया, तो क्या हुआ? सोना तो उसी बिस्तर पर है. So just thank God and don't lose your sleep or health over your goals. Don't have a laid back attitude, but live in gratitude what you have. कहते अपने मन का हो तो बहुत अच्छा, नहीं हो तो और भी अच्छा, क्योंकि ऊपर वाले का मन का हो रहा है. So you have to, thank God. Then we are brought up in a very faulty learning, thing. We have to oblige everyone. Whether we like it or we don't like it, we have to oblige everyone, say yes to everything. Say no when you have to say no. Do not say yes when you have to say no. Everybody's making a plan of going for movies. You cannot go because of your finance or because of your timing or health. It's okay, you can say no. Answering every phone call that you get. There are some people, when you talk to them, after 4 hours, you're feeling very heavy. Till 4 hours. Kyun baat kari? Why did this happen? Why did I meet that person? Till 4 days, that negativity is there. Remove toxic people from your life. Live life lightly. You don't have to do everything which is right for public. Because we are brought up in a way, ye to karna hi hai, wo karna hi hai. Oh, learn to love yourself first. Live lightly. You don't have to really, do what everybody says. Do it. आपका मन है आप ड्रेस पहन के बाहर जाना है, do it. You want to wear whatever you want to wear, you eat what you want to, which you feel your health will allow and all that. If that is giving me happiness, do that. If once in a way I want to sleep till 10 in the morning, if that's going to give me happiness, do it. Who has set these rules that you have to do this and have to do that? Love yourself. Be easy. Don't fret for things. Just, for me, it's living easily. It's a very, very price. Like people have to pay for happiness, pay for it. If you can afford it, live it. Laugh a lot. When you're sitting watching a comedy show, some movie, you're reading a joke, laugh loud. Even if you want to smile, laugh. Once people see you laughing, they will laugh with you. Arey, what was the joke? Can you share? Okay, even if you're sitting alone, laugh loudly for next few minutes, for next few hours. You're on that, aura of having that laughter, that mood. So don't sulk. I love my granddaughters so much that whenever I'm missing them, instead of crying, I go to the gallery, look at all the videos that, they have sent, whatever the funny moments. I enjoy, I keep myself light. There are parents, because of pandemic, our school is closed. So parents who will send me video of the kids doing. Sometimes they do video calls. Sometimes they'll message me. children are having milk without fuss. Today, my daughter enjoyed her vegetables as well. So my colleagues were saying, "Oh, gabbar se sab darte hai." I said, "It's not me being gabbar. It's being because I explained to them how healthy it is. That gives me happiness. When parents message me, the kids have done this, the kids have achieved this, oh, she's played the piano. All these things give me happiness. Giving happiness to others give me happiness. But at the same time, I need to take care of my mental health. My thing, I've done a lot, which I feel, it's for others. But now I think I need to live for myself. I learn to live happily and live for myself. This is what I.
Okay, thank you very much, Miss Sapna Sethi. You say that it's a matter of shukr, shukrana. Shuk means thanks, and sabr. So you say the gratitude and the one should be having patience. This is your mantra, or I must say, where you have. But one thing which is very really commendable of you, when you say that's very easy to have these small kids in your daycare and others, because my experience says, although I'm not a daycare, I'm not having any daycare, but every day morning when I talk to my daughter who is in USA, she always says, today because my grandson is 3 years old, today he has not eaten anything in the nursery, and they said this is bad, and I went there, I met so and so, and they says, no, we will not allow your home food to come to your place. So there are lots of things. I used to feel, why so much complaints? And I always tell kids, look, we all were born and brought up here. We never have these types of complaints at that time. But for that, I know that Dr. Rajiv Anand will say the advantages of joint family versus the nuclear family. But it is very heartening to know that what you said is that compensation. If you are having love, motherly love, if you are giving motherly love, definitely the child will forget everything. And that is very important. And one more important point you mentioned about how, in spite that you are having so closely knit family, you have to miss your own daughter's wedding. I can understand how much you might have felt at that time, but it's a part and parcel of life. My son, my daughter-in-law, they just had a second child, a daughter, and my granddaughter. And I could not go because of the pandemic. So I am happy sitting here, as you said. But I know that somewhere in the heart, it bleeps and it says, I should have gone there. Anyway, thank you very much, Ms. Sapna Sethi. We will definitely come and ask for more lighter moments. Now, I would like to invite my next guest, and she is Ms. Jasmine Pitawala. Ms. Jasmine is the public relation professional at Mumbai. She is a seasoned public relation professional with over 18 years of work experience in the marketing and communications space in various leadership and administrative roles. She has been with Boston Consulting Group, BCG, for 10 years and has led their marketing communications initiatives across India and Sri Lanka. In January 2017, she was awarded the 40 Under 40 award by Reputation Today magazine. She has done her postgraduate diploma in advertising and public relations from KC College of Management Studies, Mumbai, where she topped in the year 2004. In her leisure time, she enjoys traveling, adventure sports, listening to music, doing yoga, and spending time with her 10-year-old son. Welcome, Ms. Jasmine Pitawala on our show. Ms. Jasmine Pitawala, you have heard partly Dr. Rajiv Anand and fully Ms. Bhavna Shah as well as Ms. Sapna Sethi. Now, they have their own experiences. They say they are enjoying, although both have tough life. Ms. Bhavna Shah, as she has explained, very, very tough life day to day because she is involved in powerlifting, so rigorous exercise, training, diet, etc. And Ms. Sapna Sethi expressed how much difficulty she has faced financially, emotionally, mentally, everything. But in spite of all those difficulties, they found moment of the happiness, the pursuit of happiness. They have that zeal to have the happiness within them. You being a public relation professional, and public relation is such a thing where you have to see whether the person, if his image or her image or the brand image, or I don't know in which field you are dealing. But when you have to make an image of anyone, whether it's a individual image or a brand image or a company's image, it's not easy. Because if anybody has to make the image, it means the image is not there or something wrong is there. To make over it is very difficult. And you might be knowing inside whether that this is the negative point, if the individual or the company or the brand. And still, you have to be defensive or indefensible. So you have to act. Many times, you might be getting lots of big bets from your corporate clients or those, because what they expect, everybody expects that once they have given the work to a public relation professional, they are free, they can enjoy whatsoever they want to do, because now their really public image will be there, brand image will be there whatsoever. But many times it's not clicked, and that every time it clicks, definitely you might be getting that backlash, you might be getting the big bets. How you are getting your lighter moments of your life? Miss Jasmine Pitawala, please.
Yeah. So thank you, Dr. Goel, for that wonderful introduction. And yes, it was very inspiring to hear Bhavna and Sapna share their lives. You know, you could never think that what you see is something very different than what they are. So especially with regards to Bhavna, I can say. But it's wonderful knowing both you ladies, and really nice and happy to have you, see your journey live. And thank you, Dr. Rajiv Anand, for having me on this panel. I have known Doctor for a very long time now. And yes, like Mr. Goel said, that, the good part about my profession is that, I have to highlight the positives. While I know the negatives, I know, what they are, what they're not, but I have to look at the positives. So, and as a person also, and thanks to the profession also, I have inculcated these kind of habits naturally for myself, that, I truly believe that there is nobody on this universe who does not have a good quality. You may have various experiences with that individual, but I truly believe that however mean, however bad that person is, as per your judgment for that person, but that person definitely has some good quality. And as individuals, as professionals in public relations, we are trained to see the positive for people. So that is something very good, and that brings out the lighter moments, as you know. And I truly believe also that these lighter moments are something that one has to create for themselves. So you are your life is in your hands, and you have to kind of say how you want to lead it, and whatever gives you that happiness, be it yoga or be it adventurous sports. Like, I really enjoy spending time with my son, and I feel that he brings out that element in me, which is sometimes which I have forgotten, that what it is to be a 6-year-old, or what it is to be which means you're sometimes just endlessly laughing about something, and there is no meaning. You attach meanings and you live your life according to that. So life is really empty and meaningless, and you attach those meanings and you give meaning to life, and you say this is how it is, but it's not really that way. So I truly believe that you have to pick your wars also very sensibly. Not everything that comes your way deserves your attention. So what you can and what you can avoid, you must avoid. The other thing that I have learned over a period of time is that nothing matters to me more than my own peace of mind. So if there is something that comes my way, which I feel that it is going to really drain me out, I choose my battles and I say I don't want to. And at that point in time, if someone comes and tells me that 2 + 2 is 22, I will say you are absolutely right, because I don't want to deal with that kind of situation. So I truly believe that one has to be in that moment, experience it, enjoy the moment. That is what life is all about. Why would you unnecessarily stress, add mental illness? Today we know that 8 out of 10 diseases that human beings have are because of stress related. So why invite stress, when you can let go of it? I also believe that one must upskill, one must be ready to learn new things, be it new technology, be it anything new. So, one has to be very open to technology. One has to be very open to the digital world that's coming ahead of them, because now this pandemic has taught us so many things. And I actually after a year of this pandemic got over, I said, I want to write down what are the things that, this pandemic has actually taught me. We were talking about getting back to normal, but is normal really the normal, or is this normal? And when I wrote down those 10, 15 points, I was amazed that what I was living was not normal, but this, what I'm living today, is really the normal. So thanks to the pandemic, a lot of things have opened up. People have started focusing on their health. People believe that mental health is more important. So many things. People believe eating good food, eating the right food is so important than, just going out and eating junk. So many realizations, spending time with the family. I never thought that I could be at home for 1.5 years. And I'm truly enjoying that experience of being at home for 1.5 years, So these are things that the pandemic has taught us, which otherwise we would have never experimented. So I truly believe that, one must, like Bhavna, like Sapna, sorry, not Bhavna, Sapna said that, you must have that gratitude. Like there's not a single day which I sleep and I wake up and I don't say, thank you, God, for the lovely day. However your day has gone, but you just gives you the power to deal with it more powerfully. That's it really from my end.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Jasmine. You have made 2 points which I would like to highlight. First is you mentioned about that one should see the brighter side. You said that there are problems, but there are happiness. Yes, I can share my experience or some learning in this. When I was in 5th standard, one of my classmates, he was very naughty and he used to create lots of naughtiness in the class. At that time, it was naughtiness. So I used to complain to my mother always, see, this fellow is he's very bad and he's doing this. So one day my mother said, he's having all bad habits. Making, yes, full of bad habits. Not a single good habit. Making, yes, he's a very good sports person. So she says, okay, so you now start appreciating and learn only that thing. Don't think of the bad thing and just appreciate what he's a good sports person. And that changed my life. And today my classmate is very close to me still, and he appeared on my program also 3-4 times, and he's a quite big person. But this is the way one should see that, okay, everyone is having shortcomings. Everyone, no one is complete man, like Raymond says. So, but still you require some thing, and you have to have positive attitude. Secondly, I would like to mention in a lighter vein, Ms. Sapna Sethi mentioned, you also mentioned, and almost, I must say, more than 70% of my panelists mentioned me as a doctor. Unfortunately, I have not received any doctorate, although in a 6 months course of Ayush homeopathy or something, they become doctor and they are allowed even to do some surgery. I am thinking that I have done work now for 16 months. I am also doing this panel discussions with all the people. Someone may grant me a doctor so I can have that pleasure to write down doctor, but I am not a doctor. So thank you very much. Now I am going to the real doctor. Who is really a doctor, Dr. Rajiv Anand. Dr. Rajiv Anand, I am sure now your net will not give any trouble as our last episode experience. So you have heard all of this, and now you can start your views, which are very, very important. We would like to hear that. Please, Dr. Rajiv Anand.
Okay, first of all, let me begin a lighter note. Because many people must have thought that you or me have done some blunder in making the poster, where one of the panelists, Sapna Sethi, who is well known to me, and we have a very good understanding. If somebody would have written her to be a power lifter, it was okay. She has a very healthy body. That's one part.
Dr. Rajiv Anand, I just actually, no, I will not say, otherwise she will feel bad. The flyer person has said this only. I changed. She said that it seems that the photos has been exchanged, but see, I can't see you have you can take that liberty. So I am not made any comment. I am not making any comment. Please go ahead, Dr. Rajiv Anand.
Please talk your mind. We all are open to any comments and compliments.
Sapna ji has rare quality to laugh, despite all whatever can fall into anyone's life. And I may be a theoretical psychiatrist, but I bow down before her because she's a practical person who not only knows how to, she lives those knowledge or those value system, how to live despite whatever may happen in the life. I mean, this is not the occasion to say anything, but I have a great regards for her. She had lost her husband when she was in her 20s only. And she has brought up two kids from that age over the last 30 years and beautifully brought up, and both are very well set. The second part of Lighter Moments, had Bhavna and Sapna would have been on the same stage, not like digital, then Bhavna could have shown by lifting Sapna that I'm not just merely theoretical weightlifter. If you permit me, I can lift Sapna. Bhavna, am I right about it?
Absolutely.
Or
Yes.
you would have, you can or you can't?
Yes, I can. Very easily.
Very easily. So even though you are 40 kg, your self-admitted weight,
Yes.
I'm not going to ask Sapna how much she is, but certainly more than you.
No, certainly in 2 digits.
It would have been a really delightful experience for Bhavna to lift Sapna, and Jasmine would have also laughed. Jasmine, are you there or you have disappeared?
No, she's there.
Okay. So back to where I left before the net problem began.
Yeah.
I very strongly believe that we have been trained by the last few generations to get educated for what? Get educated to earn a good salary. Good salary for what? So that we can have a good lifestyle. Good lifestyle for what? We can have a fridge, we can have a TV, we can have a sofa, we can have a flat, we can have this gadget, we can have that gadget. And what else? We can have children, we can give them a good education. What for a good education? So that they can become a better human being tomorrow. They can become a happier human being tomorrow, and they can do the same with their children, as we have done it. Get educated, earn more salary, have a good house, have good gadget, give education to children, and as if mechanically we have been doing it generations after generation, except some of us, including Mr. Lal and me, who have seen our parents. And I'm saying, except fortunately, some of us who have seen our parents also having lighter moments in life to live. The city we come from has got a river, and there used to be a now in the Yamuna River. And having a boat ride on the now was a delightful experience. City we have been, there used to be Tonga, horse-driven cart. To have a drive on that was a pleasant experience. And close to Mr. Lal's house in Mathura city, there used to be a Birla Mandir. Beautifully made, very well landscaped garden. Going over there with the lunch and the chadar and picnic was delightful experiences. What I'm referring about it, that we all need to look into where we are heading to or where we have headed to. Has this education mechanically made us earn more money, earn position, earn power to make us look different than others? And that's what is called ego. I'm more educated than you. I'm more knowledgeable than you. I have a bigger house than you. I have a bigger car than you. I have traveled to more number of countries than you. Me and you, me and you, me and you, me and you. I remain distinct from you, different from you. This is what is called ego. One upmanship. This is what the current fallout of the education is. And this is where the most miseries, most human problems are arising from all over the world. We call it modern education. We call it advanced education. But possibly we are going behind few centuries. We don't know who our neighbor is. We haven't spoken to our cousin for years. We haven't looked into each other's eyes, even at the spouse level, for weeks together. We haven't met heart to anyone whom we care for. At times we feel other person may not be free. Other person feel I may not be free. We write HBD, happy birthday, for the birthday wishes. We think the other person may not have more time than this. We go for getting photograph on the passport, and one of the panelists mentioned over here, the photograph has to be serious in the passport, because if it is a beaming photograph, those people don't accept. Who mentioned? I think Shanaz, you mentioned. Are you listening? That the photograph has to be serious. Why we have been so obsessed with being serious? And if we are so obsessed with being with so much of seriousness in the world around, then we have to admit that we are losing life. We don't know what life is. We don't know what the meaning of life. Then we are just mechanically living. The relevance of taking this topic today is this. However, it might have sounded a little difficult, a little abstract, but I'm very keen for every viewer listening in Kerala or Karnataka or UP or Bihar through Global TV to other part of the country, other part of the world, or live on YouTube or live on Facebook. People should sit down, look inside. What for am I living? Earning money, eating food, give education to my children, meeting my sensibly. Is that all? Am I making a difference by my living to some people around me? Am I making a difference by my living in some other people's life? Now, I'm not saying that you distribute lakhs of rupees to others. I'm not saying that you distribute clothes or distribute your house belonging to others. Yes, if you have more money, distribute. If you have more belonging, certainly do that as a charity. If you have anything which is you are not using it, give it to others so that let others use it. That's what all of the word concept of charity, concept of zakat or whatever is there. But much easily, effortlessly, very simply, without any major expenditure, is giving the best of you to others. How can you give the best to others? There are 4 types of people. Very, very arbitrarily, very simply can be divided into 4 kinds of people. Let me begin with myself. Let me begin an example. I could be one type. I would remain unhappy and serious, and I would make you also unhappy and serious. I have lived this life for years because I'm a serious guy. I can't smile. So even if you have come into my field as a lighter guy, you would also turn serious. भैया बंदा बहुत serious है, खड़ूस है, इससे light बातें नहीं हो सकती. तो पूरा atmosphere डॉक्टर के रूम का serious हो जाएगा. या किसी के भी रूम का. I also have lived that life, which I am now looking back, analyzing and helping myself. The second way of living could be that I am happy, but you remain unhappy. My happiness only I would enjoy. I'm not bothered about you. You remain unhappy. That I may deal with my staff, keep them on tenterhooks, keep them on toes. I may shout at them. I may show my ugly behavior to others, but I'm happy with whatever I have earned, whatever I've gathered. I'm not bothered about my society's happiness or unhappiness. I'm happy. This is what the world is becoming, self-centered. Every neighbor is happy in his own house, unbothered about the neighbor who may be having urine trouble. Lockdown has brought us to the realization this way of life can't go on. This way of life is very, very detrimental, very harmful to the society in general, any part of the world. We have to open up. We have to take care of others. I can't take it that I would be happy. I'm not bothered about you being happy or unhappy. The third way of life could be that I'm happy at times. I'm unhappy at times. Mixed life. But I can do little, or I can do little more to make sure that you are happy. People around me, maybe my neighbors, maybe my friends, maybe my acquaintances, maybe strangers. I would make sure whatever extent I can do to make them happy. I'm learning, I'm experimenting with this. Not necessarily I'm all the time happy. Not necessarily I have a huge problem that I'm unhappy, but yet can I steal away some moments to make them happy? To give them something? Something always has got word thing, T-H-I-N-G. So we don't know what we could give if not something. But reality is that it's not always thing. Reality is that thing is too little to be given. That is perishable. आप किसी को क्या दे देंगे? किसी को आप जो भी देंगे खाने की चीज देंगे वो घंटे 2 घंटे 4 घंटे में खत्म हो जाएगी. आप किसी को concrete gift item देंगे वो 6 महीने साल भर 2 साल के बाद out of it हो जाएगी. But if you would give something from your heart, that would remain. I give an example about it. When you give, you get back. In the clinic which had been there for the last 30 years or so, in the clinic, I had a policy that there would be a jar full of chocolates. in any child coming to the clinic, accompanying his parents or so, then child would get a small chocolate, 1 or 2 chocolates for me. If I have reached, then I would give it. If I am not reached, then my staff, that was also a kind of a bribe, because usually children move around and they make a lot of fuss, they make a lot of sound. So there was a kind of a chocolate. कि भाई शांत बैठो. Now you can't say शांत बैठो, बच्चों को वो लैंग्वेज नहीं समझेंगे. उनको चॉकलेट मिल जाती है तो शांत बैठे. This went on for years. Now one day, some family with a child or two had reached earlier than I reached. So when I entered my clinic, so a small child of 5-6-year-old, when he saw me coming out of the car and entering the clinic, he shouted at me, "Hey, chocolate dena." So I heard him, "Hey, chocolate dena." तो मुझे हंसी आई. मैंने कहा हाँ देता हूँ ना, अभी आया हूँ ना, अभी अभी गुजरा हूँ ना. Now that was a brief moment of hardly 15 seconds. Happened 20 years back. But that brought caucus to my heart, that brought some happiness to the mind. The child he doesn't know who the hell you are, doctor or owner of this clinic. He knows आप chocolate provider हैं और उसका हक है आपसे chocolate मिलने का, और आप बाकी सब बाद में करिएगा. आप पहले उसको chocolate दीजिए. I mentioned second good lighter moments. We have to look around. Sapna ji, I have learned from you. Life is full of happy moments, light moments, and sad moments and miserable moments. Each one of us by default have become experts in absorbing sad moments, miserable moments. See how everybody these days for the last 15 months had been spreading the virus of misinformation, or virus of misplaced information, or the virus of totally unrequired information, or virus of unusable information, or virus of irrelevant information borrowed from XYZ sources. अब सुना है तीसरी वेव आने वाली है. अरे जब आएगी तब देखेंगे. अब सुना है डेल्टा वेव आने वाली है. जब होगा तब देखेंगे. अभी तो जी लो. नहीं सितंबर तक आएगी. अरे जुलाई तो जी लो, सितंबर में आएगी तब देखेंगे. आर वी बॉदर्ड अबाउट कि हमारे अगले जन्म में हम 5 साल की उम्र में मर जाएंगे, तो हम अगले जन्म में 5 साल की उम्र में मर जाएंगे, तो आज भी हम नहीं जिए. What rubbish this is. We all are expert in absorbing, identifying. जैसे वो dog होता है ना, he keeps on smelling where what is. His specialty is in that. Many of these birds whom we see flying up in the sky, they are in reality they are scavengers. They keep on looking where the dead animals, or dead rat, or dead any animal. And they can see from even 100 feet away or 200 feet away. I may not be very good in that statistics. And they can zero in on that, and they can clean that. Are we? No, we are a far more evolved living being than those animals. Let us not identify with looking for whatever is rubbish around, whatever is wrong around. Why not we should admit that many of us have become expert in finding fault with others? I was delighted when I think Jasmine said, or Bhavna said, that she always finds there is goodness in everyone. Why we see positive? Why we see negativity around? Can we say कि मेरे अंदर में कोई कमी नहीं है, मेरे अंदर में कोई खामी नहीं है? But somehow our mind's training has been, trust me if I am saying it aloud, those who are listening to this program should really open their ears, and especially young generation. All this training of high education is making people expert in finding problem first, and then look for the solution. So they are expert in detecting problem. Many of them, you speak one sentence and their but would come. But you listen very, very carefully. Anybody these days, you can't continue conversation without the but coming, and that but is cut. From where it is coming from the mind. Whatever you are saying, but I know better than you. So but comes. So we are becoming expert in finding problems. And by butting or cutting or finding problems, we are losing out on life. We are losing out on our great ability to look for solution. We should, Sapna ji, you or Mr. Goyal, or both of you senior respectively, we should celebrate our parents who in much lesser means knew how to live life, who didn't have branded clothes, who didn't have that many gadgets. Some of us were fortunate to have car or a good house or AC, or that time AC was not that popular, but most people remain in the middle class range and they live life ungrudgingly, uncomplainingly, uncribbingly, sense of gratitude, and they live those moments where they were happy about it. And we call ourselves advanced educated. We call ourselves educated, but we don't know how to live life. And how much life is there in me or in you, or even for the matter, depends on how much I have earned, not money, not bank balance, not big house, not big car, how much I can give. How much I can give happy moments to anyone. So fourth criteria was, one, I said, I'm miserable, I'm unhappy, I would keep you unhappy. Second one was, I'm happy, but I'm not bothered about your happiness. You remain unhappy, I'm not concerned. Third was, I'm at times happy, I'm at times unhappy, but I would make sure whatever I can give to you to make you happy. And the fourth was, I am perpetually happy. I've learned to transcend my miseries. I've become postgraduate in looking for happiness only. मेरा स्पेशलाइजेशन सिर्फ हैप्पीनेस को ढूंढने में है. Every one of us is growing, not that I've grown. I'm not claiming that I've grown. मेरी स्पेशलिटी, मेरी फैकल्टी, मेरे माइंड का खास बात सिर्फ हैप्पीनेस ढूंढने में है. हैप्पीनेस के अलावा मुझे ना कुछ नजर आता है, ना मेरे पास अबंडेंस ऑफ हैप्पीनेस है. आप जब मुझसे मिलेंगे आपको मेरे से हैप्पीनेस मिलेगी. मेरे पास कुछ ऐसा नहीं है, ना पैसा, ना नॉलेज, ना एजुकेशन, ना कोई पोजीशन है जो मुझे आपसे दूर कर दे. लेकिन होता क्या है, if my degree is more than you, I would throw it around. We call it throwing the weight around. If I'm richer than you, I would throw the weight around. If I'm senior than you, I would throw my age around. If I have a bigger house, I would show you my house and tell you that how big house owner am I, and you may or may not be. If I have a bigger car, I would show you my car. Or if I'm spiritually little advanced, then I would show my spiritual weight around. I am more spiritually inclined. Even the spiritual weight is the latest fashion. I am follower of this Guruji and that Guruji and that program and that program. People throw their spiritual weight around and they don't know what mockery they are making of whatever they claim to believe. Life means becoming lighter. Mr. Lal, you gave me the last chance, so I'm availing 1 or 2 minutes extra. Life means becoming lighter. Life means owning nothing. The bird in the sky owns nothing. She would come back when the time would be up to come down to her nest and take rest, and then again tomorrow morning fly. Life means owning nothing. Owning nothing, neither education, nor flat, nor car, nor money, nor any knowledge, nor any connection with the God. Life means to be here in the lighter moments. And this is what exactly I learned by observing Jasmine, by observing Sapna ji, by observing Bhavna, whom I may not have met for years. So many of them I haven't met for years. But whatever, whensoever little bits of information here, there, that refreshes the image. Here are the people who know how to live life. All of them, they might have had, I don't know precisely, all of them, they have their own ups and downs in life, but they have learned to survive and laugh and live. So let us gather, let us earn, let us accumulate more and more lighter moments and pass it on to others. कम नहीं होगा, बढ़ेगा. हम जब खुशी देते हैं, सब लोग जानते हैं, हमारी खुशी कम नहीं होती, हमारी खुशी बढ़ती है. सिर्फ खुशी एक ऐसी चीज है जो देने से बढ़ती है, बाकी चीजें देने से कम होती हैं. सिर्फ खुशी है जो देने से बढ़ती है. लाइटर मोमेंट जितने हम देंगे उतने हमारे अंदर बढ़ेंगे. चाहे वो कहानी मैंने बच्चे की बताई, ए चॉकलेट देना. I would like to mention about my daughter was entering in a granddaughter, 2 years, entering in a lift, and another old lady, 65, 70-year-old, entering the lift. So my granddaughter mentioned casually that कि ये हम दादी के घर जा रहे हैं, my cousin brother's wife. तो उसने बोला दादी house जा रहे हैं. The lady in the lift heard dadi word. She suddenly felt so happy because maybe for years she might not have a granddaughter. Maybe for years nobody has called her granddadi. Maybe her children might be somewhere in US or Australia. Maybe she was living alone, but she felt so happy. Oh, usne dadi bola. And I looked at this scene which lasted 10 seconds, which made my heart, wow, लड़की ने, छोटी बच्ची ने बोला दादी हाउस, उन्होंने सुना दादी, वो बहुत खुश हो गई, उन्होंने उसको बहुत प्यार किया, हालांकि उसको समझ नहीं है कि क्यों कर रहे हैं। तो छोटे छोटे मोमेंट से। आई एम एंडिंग अप ओवर हियर, ओवर टू यू मिस्टर लाल।
Thank you, Dr. Rajivan. By the way, Dr. Rajivanan, in lighter vein, were you a cricket player? Because there is a post called Night Watchman. Whosoever comes the last, he is anyway. In the lighter vein, now the another lighter vein, what Dr. Anand mentioned about the chocolate incident, he has hidden one thing. It's a marketing exercise. I can tell you, my grandson, again the 3 years old in USA, the doctor there, his pediatrician, always keep a lollipop at his clinic. So whenever he's having anything, let's go to doctor. And my daughter says ki we never used to go to doctor. We were afraid of doctor, going to doctor, he will put injection and whatnot. But because I said, why? Well, he always looked towards that jar, as Dr. Rajivanan mentioned, ki when he will give the lollipop. So I said, this is a very good trick. So marketing in lighter vein, Dr. Anand. Now I am coming to my question round. Question goes to Ms. Bhavna Shah first. Ms. Bhavna Shah, serious question. Do you think that before that lighter vein, our chairman of Global TV, Mr. Paul, wants you to be in the youth program where we have below 30 years of age youths. So he considered you in that fit for that. So that in that age group, not as a guest, a chief guest, as a to be. Anyway, that's a lighter vein. Now, do you think exercise, yoga, meditation helps in happiness? Because you are doing exercise every day. So do you feel happiness while you are doing those exercises?
Yoga, meditation, it can never be taken out of human life. It is actually the foundation. It gives you peace, mental health, strength training. Yes, it has many physical benefits, but mental peace comes from meditation. And I definitely recommend everyone to take out little time every day to do yoga and meditation under, of course, experts' observation, but it's a very important thing.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Bhavna Shah.
I am, the question you asked me under youth, I would love to be part of that.
Okay, thank you very much. I will convey, although he's listening as a Mr. India, he becomes Mr. India once the program starts. He is he disappeared, but he's listening everything. Now my question goes to Ms. Sapna Sethi. Ms. Sapna Sethi, you have mentioned all is well. So I just recall one movie of Amir Khan, Three Idiots, all is well. Do you think it really, although it was in movie, but as you have mentioned, and as Dr. Rajiv Anand was mentioning about you, that whatsoever difficulty, if you just see, feel in yourself, all is well, everything will be well, God is there, or you have to have patience and the gratitude, everything becomes all right. What do you say about this, Ms. Sapna Sethi?
See, we are not no saints. We are not those, always living in Zen. We don't have problems. We don't feel. I don't cry. I cry a lot. I feel at that minute. But somewhere after those few moments of fretting and crying and anxiousness, I know deep down in my heart that all is going to be well. Till date, everything has gone well. It will still be well. Everything happens for a reason. So in your near thing, you cannot see ki right now I'm not getting that happiness. But in the long run, there is something which we do not understand at that point, which we cannot see. We are not that foresighted to see, array, this. Only later we realize, oh, this happened for this reason. Everything happens for a reason. And now when I get upset or lonely or anxious or something, I start manifesting. I see myself with my kids in Australia on a beach, all wearing same clothes, having the photograph clicked. That picture is on back of my wall. I put that big, huge thing. Sometimes I manifest something else. Oh, I'm doing, and my granddaughters are lying down with me, and Dadi story bolo. So I go in that moment. I start manifesting things, and I have seen that when I have manifested something very strongly, I see that, and when I'm living that moment, I know, oh, this I had manifested a couple of years ago. So whenever I'm vulnerable or think, I start manifesting. I just, sometimes just want to live in that moment. It could be like being in meditation, but for me, that is meditation. It is good to meditate. It's very important for me living. I get happiness in that meditation when I start building up dreams and manifesting things. And that gives me happiness and I remain happy. Very soon this is going to happen. Very soon this is, I keep on telling myself, soon this is going to happen. And I'm sure everything happens for a reason. Families have become more close in this pandemic where there were no time. Women have started cooking, enjoying cooking. Men were never used to doing housework. Now they can actually respect women who do everything without complaining. So see, now people are away with the phones. They sit together, they play board games or whatever. Families are come together. There was a reason where families were drifting because of mobile phones. They were drifting away and everybody sitting in a room, nobody talking to each other, all on their phone. Pin drop silence at home. Now look, everyone, okay, now everybody's sitting together, doing the thing, you know. So all that has changed. Everything happens for a reason. This was a reason.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Sapna Sethi. My question goes to Ms. Jasmine. Ms. Jasmine, there is a saying, or people say that those who laugh or who shows happiness, the back of that, they are very sad. What do you say about that?
Yes, I would agree to that. That it cannot be faked. Happiness cannot be faked. And there are some people who do it very well, while there are majority of the people whom I have observed, what you are on the inside reflects on the outside. So if you are sad, it will show on your face. If you're happy, it will show on your face. So I truly believe that these are things that one should not fake, because it is directly connected to your emotional and mental health. And like I said, that a lot of things today are stress related, more than anything else. Like, doctors are saying this is due to stress, this is due to stress. So we are hearing that more and more. And therefore, I truly believe that your well-being, your happiness completely lies in your hand. Do anything that makes you happy. So if you think taking a walk down in your garden or in your complex gives you that me time, or gives you that happiness, of being alive, taking that fresh air, being with nature, do that. Being with pets, cracking jokes with your friends, you need not physically be there, but you can call upon them, you can check as to how they are not. So I truly believe that yes, exercise, meditation, all this is a combination, and you pick and choose what gives you happiness.
Okay, thank you very much. Now my questions to Dr. Rajiv Anand. Dr. Rajiv Anand, one of the panelists mentioned about the GDP. But the latest thing is now Global Happiness Index, GHI. Now, in that, if we will see, Finland is number one. I'm talking of 2021, latest. There are 20 lists. I will name few in a very fast manner. Second is Iceland, then Denmark, Switzerland, Netherlands, Sweden, Germany, Norway, New Zealand, Austria, Israel. 11th is Australia, Ireland. 13 is United States, Canada, Czech Republic, Belgium, United Kingdom, China, and France. They are the top 20. But India is 139 out of 149 countries. Why? Dr. Rajiv Anand, please.
Answer that to you. First of all, my sincere appreciation about your great zeal for research into many such things which we don't get time to look into. But really appreciate you having dug out this list. Now, if you look at these countries' name, most of these countries which have a higher happiness index, they are closer to nature, they're closer to space, they're closer to greenery, the natural world. There's no name of USA. I'm a bit surprised how come UK.
No, USA is on 13th. 1-3.
Right.
Australia is 11th.
Acknowledge AB, there are many other countries which are above that. Of course, USA and USA and Australia are vast countries and they have a huge space and vis-a-vis the
You have put in mute, Dr. Anand. Lighter vein again. Unmute, please. I think anyway, please go ahead.
I think the happiness has got much more to do with how close we are to nature and how far away with what we think we have achieved in this lifetime. How much away we are from what we think we have achieved in this lifetime. Over to you, Mr. Lal.
Okay, thank you very much. So you have made a very, very valid point that we should be near to the nature. Thank you very much. So viewer, you have seen today that the experts, different, I will not say the experts, but their life, they have seen the struggle they have done. And in spite of that struggle, in spite of all the problems which they faced in life, they found lighter moments. And they says, if you will not have these lighter moments in your life, then life is not worth living. And lots of stress, lots of disease, which all our panelists have mentioned. So one has to be very lively. One should have all lighter moments in the life. Whatsoever the things, whether it's in nature or the child happiness or whatsoever, one must be happy. And that is the key in the lighter moment. Today's program, which has been live telecasted by V4 News, Global TV, V4 Stream, Malnadu TV India, Newsgaon se Samvad Sarokar News, Bharat Post News, as well as was shown live on Facebook and YouTube. And our endeavor is to bring to you in the evening program called Kal Aaj Aur Kal Lal Goyal Ke Sang at 4:30 p.m. An achiever is somebody who has done something which people should understand, know. And but the difference here is, in these achievers, we just go and try to listen from him, his or her own life journey. And today's my guest, chief guest, is Professor Dr. N. Sridhar Shetty, former National President, Indian Dental Council, founder, Dean A.B. Shetty Memorial Institute of Dental Sciences, Mangaluru. He is a recipient of Dr. B.C. Roy, very prestigious award that is called Dr. B.C. Roy Award. He will be my chief guest today, and he is going to unfold his own life journey. So please tune in for Kal Aaj Aur Kal Lal Goyal Ke Sang at 4:30 p.m. today. Thank you very much, Dr. Rajiv Anand. Thank you very much, Miss Bhavna Shah. Thank you very much, Miss Sapna Shetty. And thank you very much, Miss Jasmine Pitawala, for giving and sharing your lighter moments. I'm sure today our viewers also have the lighter moments, and they will see to it that they will enjoy their life, because we want them for a long life, happy life, so that they can view our serious programs also. Thank you very much. Thank you all the viewers for watching our show.
Thank you, Mr. Lal.